All right. So we have a little bit of a change of pace today. And instead of doing a normal episode of It's Not Just Talking, what I want to do is show you something that's a little bit more about the business side of things and really how we go about conducting business day to day, our personalities, our problems, and how we insert them into businesses. Because as I have seen, because I self reflect on myself into oblivion, and Taylor knows, and you probably know, you put your own stuff into your business. Right? The way you do things day to day, how you interact with people, whether you hire them or your clients, your stuff, especially when you're a solopreneur or a small business, is business stuff. And so it's really important to understand how you operate and how to operate better, which is why I wanted to introduce you to a show that we've been working on and are very excited to launch. It's called Founder Culture with Romaine Wright. And Romaine is somebody that is incredibly brilliant, great mind for what kinds of problems business owners have, putting labels on those problems, and giving really practical ways to go and solve it. So what I want to do is introduce an episode of her brand new show. This is Founder Culture with Romaine Wright.
Welcome to Founder Culture, the podcast for founders and startup leaders who understand that building a business may be hard, but building a team, now that's where things get tricky. I'm Romaine Wright, founder of Just Right Consulting LLC and creator of Thrive or Derive. In every episode, I take one real team issue, break down the behaviors driving it, and provide strategies on how to fix it. Welcome to the show. This episode is called I Feel Like I Have to Do Everything Myself. Now, as a founder, I have absolutely felt this way. And as any kind of leader, you, I'm sure, have felt this way before. But I still want to set the stage and give you a picture. So imagine this. It's midnight during launch week, and a founder is hunched over her laptop, rewriting copy, chasing down team members, and double and triple checking her timelines. She hasn't had a real meal with her family in 2 weeks, and she's exhausted and frustrated and anxious. And underneath all of that, she's just scared. Scared that if she lets up just even a little bit, something's going to fall apart. Now, as she's thinking about this, she's realizing that even though she's not a control freak, every time she delegates tasks to her team, it feels like just comes back to her anyway. And so now that she's thinking about solutions, she's realizing that she may actually be a big part of the problem herself. Now, as I said, you've probably experienced this. I've definitely experienced this. I've actually been on both sides. I've been the leader feeling like I'm carrying the team, and also on the team feeling like my leader, my manager, supervisors, just all in the way, right? So if you have been in any kind of leadership role, even think back to like college and high school where we got those dreaded group projects where someone is carrying the load. I know that you can probably relate to this, and that is why I want to talk about it. It's really become a common experience for so many of us. So this is what we're talking about today. So what's the challenge here? What is it really that's going on? Like I said, when you're a leader feeling like you're carrying the load of the team, it feels like they're not showing up. They're underperforming, they're not following through, they're slacking, and you have to do it all. So it looks like your team's underperforming, and you end up treating it like a performance issue, when really at the heart, this isn't a performance issue. It's not about their inability or disinterest in actually doing the work. You should know you hired them, right? Typically, you're the one who's done the interviews. You've been involved in bringing them onto the team. So you know they can do it. Why are they not doing it? Let's talk about that. Let's look at what's really going on behind the scenes. What's the behavior driving this problem for your team? So what looks like, or to you as the leader, as the founder, what looks like underperformance or your team not following through is actually a form of micromanagement. Yes, I know that's a word that you probably don't want associated with you. I'm not a micromanager, Romaine. You may not be, but this is what I've come to call reactive micromanagement. So it doesn't mean you're always a micromanager or that's the way that you lead. What it means is during high stakes, high pressure situations, you may get involved more than you normally would. So you're jumping in, you're helping out, you're following up, and you're getting too close to the work in response to the pressure that you're feeling and the urgency that you're feeling about the situation that you're in. In the example I gave, it was launch week. So this founder is feeling the pressure of rolling out programs and fearing that something's going to go wrong if they back out. So here's what this could look like. Maybe you're asking to be CC'd on every single email. That's a lot. Maybe you're asking for updates every day, multiple times a day, even before your team has had a chance to actually do the work. That's a lot. Maybe you're rewriting their work, going behind them, triple checking it, editing it, and before they can actually send it out or move forward. That's a lot. And so every time that you're checking in to just help, what you're actually doing is micromanaging them because you're feeling the pressure of this kind of high stakes situation. And ultimately, over time, what you're doing is teaching them or sending the message that you don't trust them to do the work you've hired them to do. So this is a trust issue, really, is what it comes down to. Your ability to back away and give them the space, trust them enough to do the work. When you don't do that, you continue to engage in this reactive micromanagement cycle, right? You feel the pressure, so you get really involved. What ends up happening is over time, you're teaching them to depend on you. And so they don't take action until they get your feedback, until they get your approval, until they get your input. And before long, you're the only one that knows how to do anything right. If this resonates with you, jump in the comments now and let me know how you're feeling about this as we transition to talking about how do we fix it, right? We've talked about the challenge. We've talked about the behavior, reactive micromanagement. Now let's talk about the reset strategy. What do we do to get us out of this cycle of jumping in because we feel pressure to move forward, we feel pressure to perform? It's going to sound very simple, but it's very real. And it is delegation, delegating ownership and not just tasks. So what that means is your role when you fully delegate. So not just send this email to the client, but write the email to the client because you're the account manager. Okay? So fully delegating ownership of the project, of the accounts, of whatever it is that you've assigned to this person, and backing away so that they can own the outcome and you're really just a coach. That means that your involvement becomes setting the goal, defining what success looks like, and then backing away to really let them own it, even if it gets messy, right? You've got to be aware, comfortable with them making mistakes if you really want them to learn and grow. Think about your own journey. You made mistakes, you missed things, you failed, and all of that contributes to the awesome founder that you are now, the great leader that you are now. So you've got to allow your team to have that same journey. Let them make mistakes, create space for them to learn. Their progress will not come from you expecting perfection out of them, right? You've got to give them that space to learn together. And then when they make those mistakes, you guys figure it out together and move forward. If you want to grow and scale your business, you've got to allow that space for growth. So I've given you a strategy. What do I want you ultimately, though, to take away from this conversation today as you're processing all the things I've said? I want you to think about it this way. You are a builder. You've built the blueprint for your business, right? You've written out the plan and you've laid the foundation. And you've hired your team to build that building. Let them lay the bricks, let them create and be a part of the team as a team. You've hired them for a reason. They're smart, they're capable, they're talented. Let them prove that to you by giving them the space to own the work that you've assigned.
All right, if you enjoyed that, please go subscribe to Romaine. This is the SBX feed. This is the It's Not Just Talking feed. So go find Founder Culture. The link is in the show notes. And so go find the show, subscribe to the show, and support Romaine. She's brilliant. She's amazing. We are so happy to be working with her and very happy to show you this episode. So please support Romaine. We'll talk to you soon.